Yo, what is up, you guys? Big. For another video, in today's video, we are back with the animated horror stories by IMR. Okay, now we've reacted to bro before. He did a great job. Okay, he gets to be in the rotations of the animated horror stories if y'all still rocking with it. I know y'all love him because I love him. You know, I don't know what I just said, but this is 3 true 7-Eleven horror stories. Now, gas stations, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not rolling in no gas station if I see a bunch of fuckers just standing outside of it. I'm not walking in. We're gonna go to a different gas station. My favorite gas station is Quick Start. It's my shit right there. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Let's jump into it. All right, here we go.
I've been driving trucks for 15 years. You get used to the weird shit. Gas stations at 3 a.m., lot lizards, addicts wandering the parking lots.
See?
But what happened at that 7-Eleven last month still keeps me up at night. I was on hour 20 of what should have been a 14-hour haul, popping caffeine pills, blasting metal, slapping myself, anything to stay awake. My bladder was about to explode when I spotted this 7-Eleven store, standing like this sad little beacon in the middle of nowhere. The parking lot had just one car, a rusted-out Civic,
is that abandoned?
With stickers about government mind control. Perfect. Exactly what I needed at 3:17 a.m. Some tweaker working the register. The bell chimed as I walked in. Behind the counter stood this rail-thin dude, maybe mid-20s, staring at his phone. He didn't look up, just stood there with this know-it-all smile that didn't reach his eyes.
What does that even mean?
Bathroom? I asked. He pointed to the back,
Bathroom?
still fixated on his screen. His fingers looked wrong somehow. Too long, joints bending at angles that made my stomach
He double jointed.
The nails were chewed raw, and dried blood had caked around the cuticle.
Is this even a human? Why? Who is he describing? Have y'all ever met a person like, actually, you know what? I might have.
I chalked it up to exhaustion and headed toward the restroom. The floor was sticky, making that sick peeling sound with each step.
Oh, I hate
the whole
that
place
shit.
Reeked of burnt coffee and bleach, and something rotten. Inside the bathroom, fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, one of them flickering like a strobe. 2 stalls, one urinal crusted with God knows what. I locked myself in the first one, my knees practically touching the door.
What are you
I was getting down with my business when I heard slow breathing. It was coming from the next stall over. Not normal breathing. This wet, rasping sound like someone drowning from the inside out. Sorry, man. I mumbled, embarrassed someone was listening to me piss. No answer, just that breathing. For a second, everything went quiet. Hello? I called out. The breathing has stopped.
Why are you saying
the silence
hello?
that followed was worse. I finished quickly and stepped out, ready to get the hell out of there. The faucet was dripping, each drop hitting the stained porcelain.
Man, to be honest, if you think there was somebody in that stall, bro, I'm just gonna leave without washing my hands, bro. And I never do that. Like, every time I go to the bathroom, I wash my hands every single time. That's why I'm usually always ashy. I wash my hands every single time. But in this situation, okay, hopefully there's a little hand sanitizer in the store. I just steal. Me personally, in this situation, I'm trying to get up out of there. I'm walking fast. He walking a little too slow.
A rhythmic ping that seemed to get louder. I turned the tap to splash some water on my face. The mirror in front of me
bro, you know
all
them
the stalls behind. As I leaned forward, I caught something in the reflection. Movement in the right beside mine. From where I heard the breathing,
it's the same hand from the bum.
In the reflection, I could see fingers, impossibly long, gray-white fingers, curling around the edge of the stall door. I froze, watching as a figure began to emerge in the reflection.
How did...
The cashier, but he looked total psycho this time. His eyes wide, shoulders hunched at an impossible angle. His smile looked 10 times more sinister, and he was drooling like some mad dog about to snap. I hurriedly lunged
there
for the door.
Ew, why are you...
budge. The handle turned, but a force seemed to block it. The lights flickered once, twice, then died completely.
What?
Suffocating darkness took over.
Bro, let's do the door.
Meat just kept choking the air around. Did I scare you? It was right against my ear. A cold finger grazed my nape.
Your what? It grazed your nipple?
Scare you? It was right against my ear. A cold finger grazed my nape. No.
Your nape? What the fuck is a nape? First things first. Why do, in these stories, this one I don't be believing that they real, because in situations, how do you not have the instinct to just go on fight or flight or just start whooping ass? I promise you, no tough guy here, but anybody who even touches me, like, it's gonna be so bad for you, bro. You're getting pummeled. You're getting absolutely like full Nelson, bro. Like, I don't even know, like, if you couldn't, if you couldn't get the door open, why are you just letting the nigga like basically molest you? You know, I don't play that.
No one stops here anymore. I had to do something fun. A phone screen lit up, illuminating his face inches from mine.
What?
His eyes were dark, pupils so dilated they looked like black holes sucking in all the light. I slammed my elbow back,
Finally.
connecting with something solid. He grunted, but he didn't release me. His fingers dug into my shoulders with impossible strength. Don't leave. He whined like a baby. I'm so lonely.
Oh,
In
we know why
panic,
you lonely.
I grabbed the metal trash can and swung it at his head.
About
It connected
time.
with a sickening crack. He staggered back, releasing me. I turned the handle harder, but the door wouldn't budge.
You break
He was
the
still
door.
behind me. I could hear the wet, skittering noise. I peeped over my shoulder to see the cashier crawling toward me on all fours,
Bro, stomp
moving
this nigga out,
impossibly
bro.
fast. His head hung at an unnatural angle where I'd hit him, but that smile never faltered. Lonely, I'm so lonely. I've nobody to call my own.
Bro, he would have been kickballed. Y'all ever play kickball when the ball rolled to you at a maximum decent speed? He would have been in the bleachers. Bro, I just don't understand, bro. Like, I understand, like, y'all gotta also put it in perspective. This is real life. If this was a real thing, this is real life, bro. This isn't like a scary movie. There's just a nigga crawling on. I'm punting that nigga, bro. Like, full fucking punt. Bro, like, I don't understand this.
He sang, making a sad face. I threw my full weight against the door, increasing the strength with
About
each
time.
try, until finally it gave way. I sprinted through the 7-Eleven store like some
I would've
prey
sprinted.
dodging the predator.
Yeah, I would have sprinted through the store. Oh, snap. I would have started grabbing shit. But I ain't gonna
The
lie.
cashier's giggles following me all the way.
I'd have been
until
stealing
it
all the
turned
time.
to
This shit.
screams of
Yeah,
rage.
I deserve this.
He was cursing me to come back, but I didn't look back, just ran to my truck. As I fumbled with my keys, I glanced back.
Oh
He stood in
my
the doorway,
gosh.
perfectly still except for his head, which tilted sideways at an angle that should have snapped
Like I said,
a human's
I would
neck.
have popped.
The
I would have just.
fluorescent light above him flickered, casting his elongated shadow across the parking lot. He raised one hand and spread his fingers, too many fingers, in a wave. "Do come again!" he yelled, like it was some casual night of fun for him. I was lucky
Yeah, it
that
is.
the roads were mostly empty that night. Otherwise, I definitely would have met with accident. A week later after this incident, I saw news coverage on a local media channel. They're talking about a man who worked at a 7-Eleven store.
23.
Many customers kept complaining about the bad stench in the bathroom of the 7-Eleven for days, when finally cops had to intervene. They found dead animal carcasses stuffed in the vents.
And this is no, I don't even need science. I don't need anyone to tell me otherwise. If you are harming animals, you're a serial killer. There's nothing you could. The data might back it up. I swear I've seen a study, but there is no study. I could just look at you and tell you're a deranged person. You're hurting animals. You're gonna be a serial killer. You're gonna be a rape. You're gonna be all that. Why would you even think? You know what I mean? Like, no morals. So yeah, get him in jail immediately.
Storage spaces. Upon questioning, they arrested the employee who worked there. It was the same guy from that night.
Oh my
When the cops
God.
asked him
Ugh.
why killed stray animals and kept their dead bodies inside
Now
the
listen to him.
store, he replied he didn't like being alone.
What?
Working the night shift
That was
at
a crazy one,
7-Eleven
bro.
was never something I listed on my bucket list. But money talks, and lordy
Yeah.
did I need it.
Yeah, money
My
talks, and that
coworker,
mean
Mia-
yeah. You know what's also crazy, real quick, bro? Money talks. So you're gonna do anything in this world just to get money, and you're gonna sell your soul. You're gonna end up selling your soul if you value money that hard. Yeah, it do talk, and money does shift the outcome to things. But if you ain't doing something, I'm not doing it. I don't care how much money you throw at me.
Had cautioned me about all the weirdos who come out at night.
Just keep pepper spray in your pocket.
She'd said while laughing. I laughed too. I wasn't
funny.
worried about creeps. I can handle myself. The first 2 hours went by without much happening. A couple of late-night snackers, some drunken college kids rolling around laughing at the candy aisle, and a cat lady buying beer. She smelled of her cats. Around 1 a.m., the store had gone quiet. The humming fridge and the occasional click of the tilted surveillance camera reminded me of my existence from time to time. I leaned down on the register, arm tucked under my head, just for a minute. I promised myself, just a quick nap. A blast of cold air hit me in the face. I flinched, but didn't move, probably the AC kicking on. Then another gust rippled through, but this time wasn't just air. This gust carried with it a rancid refuse smell that made my nose crinkle. I opened my eyes and nearly shrieked. A man's face hovered inches from mine, grinning ear to ear.
How the fuck are you sleeping at the job anyway?
Watching something hilarious unfold. I jolted back in shock. The man laughed. Actually laughed. Like a child who just popped out of a closet to scare a sibling.
Sorry,
he said between chuckles.
didn't know how else to wake you.
Feeling annoyed by his nonsense, I rudely replied.
Could have tried calling.
He tilted his head, nodded slowly.
Yeah, you're right.
There was something strange about him right away. He blinked too little, smiled for too long. His clothes were tattered, pale skin illuminated by the fluorescent overheads, and a black backpack slung over one shoulder that looked very heavy. Too heavy.
You buying anything?
I said in an attempt to push the moment back to something normal.
Not yet,
he said, drifting into aisles as if he had all the time in the world. I kept my eyes locked on him from behind the wooden counter.
Oh, that was funny.
Something about him made my skin feel prickly, crawly even. He smiled randomly, as if he were having a private conversation with himself. And that smell, horrible, rotten smell, it followed him like a dog. He returned 10 minutes later holding a banana milkshake and a sandwich, placed them on the counter as if he were a child showing his parent his new favorite toy. I scanned him in.
Do you ever... I don't know how to say this without sounding crazy, but do you ever think that this place, this store, doesn't exist? Like, we're all part of someone else's dream, and that's why there seems to be no consideration given to anything we do.
I didn't have an answer.
That's K2.
He smiled.
Sometimes I feel like I'm still asleep, still in the alley, still hearing her scream.
I stopped scanning. My stomach flipped.
Wait, what?
He chuckled.
The sandwich smells like someone screamed when they made it, like they put fear in the bread.
I didn't say anything. I just handed him his total. He paid with crumpled cash, his fingers brushing against mine. They were very cold. He shuffled over to the corner table and sat down.
No, you gotta eat outside like a dog. Look how you eating hunched over like a fucking man. And you know what's so crazy? How you said like, oh, like it feels like I'm asleep. No, you're just on drugs. You're jumping on drugs. You're jumping on drugs. Okay, because there's just no way anybody, bro. If you think like that, bro, you're on some type of medication. You're jumping off drugs. You're jumping off drugs.
Hunched over like a gargoyle. He dove into the sandwich, eating like he hadn't eaten in days.
See,
I tried to concentrate on restocking gum at the counter. Not that it helped. I couldn't stop sneaking glances over at him. That's when I noticed. His backpack was on the floor next to him. The bottom of it was wet. Even though it was black, I could see the stains spreading outward. At first, I thought he spilled something. Then my mind blanked. Water, soda, anything. But then something inside me screamed at me. No, that's not soda. Then he caught my eye. His jaw was still moving, sandwich half gone, crumbs clinging to his shirt. His gaze was hollow, and his knuckles. My God, his knuckles were red and swollen.
Why haven't you called the authorities?
Mud caked under his fingernails, dark and dry. The scent hit me once more, but this time it was stronger. It was definitely him. It was decay, death. I thought I might retch. He was done eating and stood up slowly. He picked the backpack up as though it weighed 100 pounds. I didn't want to look at him, but I couldn't help myself. Where the bag had been on the table were bloodstains. Small, but unmistakable stains from a hand that had to have been bloody.
Oh my God!
I felt my body lock into place. I couldn't move. I couldn't take a proper breath. He started for the exit now. Each step sounded in slow motion like a death march. The automated doors opened with a hiss. He stopped halfway through the doors. He turned back again one more time.
Hope she didn't keep you up.
He said, voice low and strange.
What?
Son,
Hope she didn't keep you up.
he
Hope
said,
she didn't keep you
voice
up.
low and strange.
She wouldn't shut up all night.
Then he grinned bigger and more brightly than he had earlier, and he stepped into the darkness. I stared at the doors for what felt
shit.
like hours, too paralyzed to move. Finally, I reached for my phone. I dialed 911.
You call the police as he's leaving. You could have been. I guess she probably didn't want to call him because he's in the store still.
And
Bro.
relayed the entire story.
Bro, I would have
His
been called the
appearance,
police,
his
bro.
backpack, the smell, the blood, the eerie comment. The woman on the phone told me to stay calm. I was anything but calm.
Too late now.
2 days later, I saw him pop up
There
on the
you go.
news. Arrest for murder. Woman found in an alley downtown. Mutilated. She was a street worker
First
from
degree.
somewhere. Bludgeoned to death. Missing her head, which the cops found in his backpack. He was walking around with it for hours. They said he went into multiple stores carrying the severed head in his backpack. The same one that leaked onto my store floor. The next day, I
What?
quit. Since then, I haven't stepped foot in a 7-Eleven.
Who
But
go,
some-
bro? Do 7-Eleven still exist? Bro, where I'm at, bro, I don't think there's a single 7-Eleven, bro. I just see liquor stores and quick strips.
Times when it's late at night
Shit trash,
and
bro.
I'm in bed with the lights off and suddenly feel a gust of wind on my face, I jump in fear, thinking it's him.
Calm down, he in prison. That was a good story, though.
I've been driving for 23 hours straight that night.
Hey,
Cross-country
that
trip
one
after
song.
my mom's funeral. Too broke for a hotel and too numb to care. My eyes burned, the road blurred. When the 7-Eleven sign appeared like some neon mirage, I nearly wept with relief. The parking lot was empty except for a rusted Honda. The digital clock on my dash read 12:17 a.m. As I killed the engine, something crawled up my spine. That feeling of being watched.
Oh, we know
When
that.
I pushed through the door, the fluorescent lights buzzed like angry insects. The place reeked of bleach and burnt coffee. Everything looked sickly.
Why they keep saying
unreal.
that's the same smell?
The cashier was a scrawny kid, barely out of high school.
Nigga, he
glued
looked
to
like
his
you.
phone. The coffee smelled
He
burnt,
looked like
but
you.
I needed the caffeine. As I filled a cup, I felt warmth breathe. Too close to my skin. The hairs on my neck rose.
Then straight.
I turned, and my whole body froze. A guy in a black hoodie stood inches away. I couldn't see much of his face.
Oh,
Just
hell.
pale skin and these wide, unblinking eyes. Too wide, like they'd been stretched. "You shouldn't be here right now," he whispered, voice tight like he was being strangled. My chest went cold.
I would look.
What?
I would listen.
He didn't repeat. His eyes flicked, fast and sharp, toward the glass door. "They're coming," he muttered.
Ooh.
"Leave before it's too late." My skin prickled all over. I
What?
turned to the cashier. The kid still hadn't moved, scrolling, dead-eyed, like he didn't hear a thing the
Hey,
guy
bro,
had
get off
said.
your fucking phone,
I turned
bro.
back, but he was gone. No footsteps, no door chime, just a trail of crisp,
Oh, bro, you a
cold
skit. So this ain't even no story against another. Like, bro, you're the victim. Like, you are the person. This is a skits attack. Cause there's no way.
air. My heart hammered against my ribs. Who was he? And what was he trying to warn me about? I hurriedly grabbed a Snickers. Just pay and go.
Hey, Snickers.
Simple.
I ain't had a Snickers in a minute.
I was an
bro.
aisle away from the cashier when suddenly the door chimed and two men sauntered in. The first was built like a linebacker, denim jacket stretched tight.
That ain't no linebacker, nigga. That's what's that nigga? Frankenstein.
Then, the first was built like a
Built like a linebacker. He's built like Frankenstein. Frankenstein ain't no linebacker. That's a monster.
linebacker, denim jacket stretched tight across massive shoulders, hands that could crush a skull. The second was tall and wiry with a buzzed head. They didn't grab drinks or snacks, didn't even pretend to shop. "Empty the register." Denim jacket slapped the cashier in the face, and the boy's cell phone clattered onto the counter.
Pussy.
Instinctively, I ducked behind the chip display. Through the gaps in the shelf, I saw Buzzcut pull out a gun.
Be a nice boy and you'll get off with just a black eye.
The
Take
beeping of the register was impossibly loud. I could hear cash being
Yeah,
shoved
just take
into
it.
pockets, the rustle of bills.
Never
the
argue
cashier's
with a
ragged
person with a
breathing.
pistol.
My
Just
own
let him
heart
have it.
pounded so hard, I was terrified.
Especially in this situation. See, the cashier, he's right in this situation, bro. If a dude come in and say empty the register right now, you can have all this, but this ain't my money. I'm gonna get paid at the end of the day, so you can have this bread. Oh, you can have the whole register. And if I get fired from that, that's what it is. I'm on to a new job.
They'd hear
you can have all the money.
Keeping
in the
an eye on the counter, I started crawling toward the end of the aisle. 3 more
I'll take him to the safe,
and I'd have a straight shot to the door. This it? Denim jacket snarled. I was close, real close.
Just wait till they
half
leave.
a meter, and I'd have the safety of my car. But then my fingers trembled, slick with sweat, and that damn Snickers slipped and hit the linoleum with a soft thud.
Oh
Everything
shit!
stopped. Even the buzzing lights seemed to go silent. Check that! We ain't alone, Buzzcut said. I sprinted, no thinking. Pure animal terror burst from behind the display, lunging for the exit. Hey! The first shot exploded through the air. Glass shattered next to my head. The noise so loud my ears rang. The second shot tore through my left arm.
Oh
At
my
first,
gosh!
It just felt like someone had slammed me with a bat. But then came the pain, sharp and
So you stopped
stinging,
running?
like somebody poured gasoline in the wound and lit a match. I hit the door with my good shoulder, stumbling into the parking lot. Keys! Where were my freaking keys? I dug through my pocket, fingers slippery with blood.
Oh.
They fell, skidding under my car. I dropped to my knees,
You are
cursing,
trash.
feeling under the chassis. Behind me, the door chimed. I looked back to see Buzzcut in the doorway, gun pointed right at me.
Oh, he has a clear
Just as
shot.
our eyes met, my fingers closed around the keys. I scrambled up, fumbling with the lock, leaving bloody handprints on the door. I got in somehow. The engine roared to life as the third shot cracked my back window. I floored it.
What the
In the rear
hell?
view, I saw him just standing there, watching me go. I drove blind with panic. 10 miles down the
Why
highway.
is he so focused on
I
him,
had
though,
to
bro?
pull
Go
over.
get the money and
I
just
couldn't feel
leave.
my fingers anymore.
Damn.
3 days slipped by in the hospital. The cops showed up on the second one. I told them everything. The robbery, the panic, the man in the hoodie. We'll try to catch the guys, one of them said. What about the other guy, the one in the hoodie? I asked. The cop paused. What hoodie guy, Logan? There was no one else in that store. Just you, the cashier, and the 2 perps. Check the security footage, I snapped. He was
That's all I was
there.
about to say.
He warned me. They checked, but every frame showed the same thing. Me grabbing burnt coffee, ducking behind an aisle, running for my life. Maybe your exhausted head made it up. The cop
I told you it was a
and I
sketch.
believed him. Till today, I try to make sense of that night, but it all seems like a drowning memory. Who do you think that guy was? Was he real or just some trigger of my brain?
Definitely a trigger of your brain, my nigga. Especially because you said you didn't hear any footprints, you didn't hear the door open, you didn't hear anything. I called it off red, especially when bro didn't look up and go, "What are y'all talking about?" Nothing. He didn't say nothing, so that's how I knew it was a figure of his imagination. OQ, we gotta do this one another time, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I liked his stories. I'm gonna hit the like button on this one because I low key want to, like, next time we do an animated horror stories reaction, we're definitely gonna watch that one. And this was a good story. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all, you know what I'm saying, IMR Scary Tales. You know, he has a great channel, man. Y'all, hope y'all enjoyed this, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. I'm finna go eat. I'm finna go get a plate of food. I'm hungry and tired. And
Thanks for watching.
she touched that pussy.